It was an emotional moment for Italy President Giorgio Napolitano. The 87-year-old choking back tears as he was sworn in for a second term. Re-election is unprecedented in Italy. He said he only agreed because of the unprecedented crisis and took his chance to read politicians the Riot Act.
If I find myself once again facing the kind of deafness I ran into in the past, I will not hesitate to draw the consequences before the country.
The media welcomed Napolitano's re-election. The results raises hopes of an end to 2 months of stalemate.
Having someone somewhere in power in Italy is definitely a step forward. There's absolutely no doubt about that. What it means is the chances of a grand coalition have gone up a little notch.
However, not everyone's happy. In fact, far from it. The result prompted mass demonstrations in Rome with thousands marching through the city in protest. Most are supporters of the anti-establishment five-star party led by Beppe Grillo. Despite the opposition on the streets, Napolitano does now have the power to form a new government. As Italy correspondent Mia San Vicente reports, that relies on rival parties working together, which until now has proved impossible. Mia.
In a bid to calm down a growing political chaos, Italian lawmakers elected on Saturday President Giorgio Napolitano to his second term, turning to him as the last best hope to end a profound deadlock. However, it also infuriated the anti-establishment five-star movement of Beppe Grillo, which won a quarter of the recent parliamentary vote. Thousands of demonstrators gathered in the streets outside the Italian parliament on Saturday, April 20, after the leader of the populist five-star movement denounced the re-election of President Giorgio Napolitano as a coup d'etat. Napolitano was elected for a second term following a last-minute deal among party chiefs to break the deadlock after 5 previous ballots failed to produce a winner.
Para sa akin lang naman kasi, si Napolitano, kumbaga matanda na, tapos na nahalal ulit siya, ito nga nanalo. Kumbaga parang yung magiging law kasi parang ganun din ulit eh. Tapos kung minsan matanda na kasi pabago-bago ang isip, kaya mas kailangan siguro natin yung mas bata pa. Tungkol naman sa pagiging apektado ng Pinoy, hindi lang Pinoy ang magiging apektado sa gobyerno o kaya sa ekonomiya ng Italia, kundi ang mga ibang estranghero na pumupunta dito kagaya ng mga taga-ibang bansa.
Magulo sapagkat nag-resign na siya tapos muli na naman siyang naihalal bilang presidente. Marami na namang mga pagbabago dahil ngayon pipili na naman siya ng mga ministro na makakasama niya sa pamumuno.
The subject dominated the headlines in Sunday's newspapers, most of them emphasizing the end of the Italian political stalemate. Napolitano again to cope with emergency was the headline of Rome's Messaggero Daily. Others were more critical, including the newspaper Il Fatto Quotidiano, which dubbed the re-election of Napolitano as the perfect crime. Napolitano is expected to try to push for the formation of a broad coalition government in a round of consultations with party chiefs starting this week. Napolitano, who at the age of 87 years old is already among the world's oldest heads of state, may not serve the 7-year full term. He might resign after the stalemate is solved. 2 months after an inconclusive election in February, Italy is still without a new government, with rivalries between the parties blocking any accord. Reporting from Rome, Italy, this is Mia San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.
On April 17, 8 U.S. senators introduced the highly anticipated immigration reform bill entitled Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013. Now, this bill is the result of a bipartisan effort from both Republicans and Democrats. This is the first step towards a meaningful and practical comprehensive immigration reform. The bill attempts to meet the needs of the U.S. economy, business owners, immigrants, and their families. Here's Hawaii correspondent Des Acenas for the details.
One of the major issues that impact Filipinos as well as non-U.S. nationals living and working in the United States is that of immigration. Many attempts by U.S. lawmakers in the past have been met with resistance from various sectors. Recently, however, 4 Democratic senators and 4 Republican senators revealed a comprehensive immigration reform that will hopefully finally solve the issue of undocumented workers. The act is called Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013. This is led by a group of senators called the Gang of Eight. They are Republican Senators John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Jeff Flake, Marco Rubio, and Democratic Senators Charles Schumer, Dick Durbin, Robert Menendez, and Michael Bennet. Unlike before, there is general optimism that their efforts will succeed. This legislation is said to contain the toughest border enforcement measures in U.S. history. The law outlines 6 security triggers that must be achieved before the newly legalized are allowed to apply for green cards. The Department of Homeland Security is at the forefront of this measure. These triggers include Border Security Plan, Border Fence Plan, Border Security Metrics, Border Commission, Employment Verification, and Exit System to stop visa overstays.
I am convinced this issue will not fall victim to the usual partisan gridlock. And we are mindful that we approach our task at a moment when the public has never been more fed up with Congress. But in a week when disillusionment with politics is being acutely felt, this bipartisan breakthrough offers a degree of hope.
Many agree that undocumented workers benefit the economy of the United States more than it negatively affects it. They work longer hours, are highly skilled, and receive way lower wages and benefits. U.S. residents welcome this promising development.
This immigration reform is very interesting. It's hard to tell if it will benefit us, if it's passed or not, but I see it as a way to provide incentives for immigrants to stay out of crime, to work harder in school, to get a job, and probably even apply for military service. As far as different races as it goes, I don't think it will affect any race more than it will affect another. I think Filipinos, when they come to America, they are already well off in that they're going to school, they're doing good things for themselves. So it shouldn't affect Filipinos too negatively.
With regards to President Obama's new immigration law, I think it's favorable because President Obama gave them a chance, and then United States of America, we all know that it's a land of opportunity, so I think it's good.
I think if Congress gradually tackles each issue, and first of all trying to get undocumented workers fully credentialized, have them go through the process of getting legal documentation, and I think we can implement a process for the future issues for each of the undocumented workers that we do encounter. And that coincides as well with protection of our border security. And I think the government really needs to devote some funding or some type of assistance for all of the undocumented workers, because it's just an issue that everyone wants to come to America, and we're a land of opportunity, and so much better than just turning them away. We need to really incorporate them into the melting pot of America.
The United States is known for the land of the free. Everyone wants to move here for job opportunity, and it will become difficult. A lot of them have upstanding integrity. They want to come here for a better life, but we have many who use and abuse the system and are faults in the government to come here illegally and dispose bad influences, especially to the youth, to the poor, low income. So whatever happens, it's for the intention of the country. It will set many back, but it's to ensure the safety of many of our citizens and for our future citizens.
I feel like people are not going to like it, but the people pushing for it are really going to push for it, because one of them said they're either going to have this bill or there's going to be all-out fight or something like that. A part of this bill includes banning many types of guns, assault type guns, and there are a lot of Americans that want to keep their gun rights, especially after the shootings.
I believe that it's a good thing, so that as Americans, we don't have to fight for jobs as much due to the competition that is placed when we have illegal immigrants coming in. So we would benefit a lot from it.
11 million people are living and working in the United States who are undocumented. About 300,000 of those are Filipinos. With this act, the dream of becoming a legal resident and ultimately a U.S. citizen is just within reach. From Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Des Acenas reporting for Eagle News, Evening Edition.